Hello, thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed that video on Lagos. And joining me today, we've got Megan from Rentals, we've got Sasha, who's the expert on the Adega, and we've got Cristina, who's going to be talking about mortgages. We're going to just touch a little bit on Lagos for people that don't know it. As you've seen in the video, there's a lot going on in Lagos. It's a really, really nice place. And apparently at the moment, it's just won an award for #1 beach resort in Europe. So a lot of people wanting to visit. So great place, yeah, Sasha?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they just won an award, so that's news to me.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. They often win awards here in Portugal, and that's a pretty good one to win. And there is, the beaches are you can get long stretches of beaches, if you've seen, and you can also get the very picturesque beaches. So there's quite a variety if you want something different every day. Cristina, you live near Quavero, and the beaches there are
amazing.
Yeah, the caves and everything.
Yeah. No, the reason I think Lagos is one of my favorite places is because, it's got a really nice variety of beaches. You've got Meia Praia Beach, which is apparently the longest natural bay in Europe. And then you've got 4 or 5 more intimate beaches, Donorana Beach, which is been voted the most beautiful beach in Europe 4 times. So you've got a variety of beaches there, and it's really attractive for beachgoers.
Yeah, blue flag, nearly all blue flag beaches.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So very clean sea, really nice. And also the town itself is really interesting. There's an old part, new part.
Oh, absolutely. Lagos is over 1,000 years old. The center of Lagos is built within castle walls. All the main Portuguese explorers were based in Lagos. So in the center is lots of really nice restaurants and cafes. You know, it's very much sort of cafe society place.
Live music, a lot of live music.
Lots of live music, lots of live music. So it's really nice and quaint. It still has its old, you know, all its sort of original charm. And then, of course, you've got lots of other attributes to Lagos. You've got the marina, which is, you know, right near the center, and it's my favorite marina in the Algarve. You know, you've got a couple of golf courses, 5
Something
minutes
for everybody.
Yeah, 5 minutes drive on either side.
And whereabouts is Adega actually situated in?
Well, that's one of the main selling points, I think, of Adega, is it's really at the center. You know, it's everything is walkable. So Adega itself has a series of shops on the outside, part of the structure, not part of the condominium, but a part of the structure on the ground floor. So there you're going to have restaurants and cafes and hairdressing salons or what. I don't know specifically what they're going to have. But then you've got 3-minute walk away, you've got the tennis center, 5-minute walk away, you've got 3 big supermarkets, 7-minute walk to the center of the old town of Lagos, 5 minutes to the marina, 7 minutes to the train station, which is the most southwesterly train station in Europe, and then you can explore the whole of the Algarve via train, or go up to Lisbon, or go wherever you want. 15-minute walk to Meia Praia Beach. So really, it's perfectly situated.
Just what it's all about: location, location, location.
Absolutely.
That's what they always say, and it is. It's a perfect location. So tell us a little bit more about the actual apartments themselves.
Sure. So, I mean, one of the good things about Adega is that even though it's really, you know, in the town, it really doesn't have any compromises in terms of, you know, you might expect in the middle of a town that the units will be smaller in size, there wouldn't be any car parking, and so on and so forth. But in fact, there are no compromises when it comes to that. You know, the apartments are larger than average, so the 2-bedroom apartments are about 120 meters squared, 1,300 square feet if you're thinking in imperial. And so that is certainly considerably larger than the average. And the average in the Algarve for a 2-bedroom property would be you know, 90 to 100 meters squared. So you're sort of 15 to 20% larger than that.
And the outdoor space.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this developer, what's particularly good about this developer is he you know, the terraces are a generous size. I mean, even the 2-bedroom terraces are deep enough for 6 people to be dining on the terrace, you know, on a large dining room table.
And that's what it's all about: al fresco.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, in terms of the interiors of the properties, I mean, there is, you know, it's got all the mod cons. So you've got underfloor heating, solar panels, central vacuuming system, central aircon. So it's not these exterior units that sit on the walls. There's actually ducted aircon, central hi-fi system. The 2-bedroom properties have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 ensuite with a jacuzzi bath. The second bathroom is with a walk-in shower. The 3-bedroom units also have 2 bedrooms, 1 ensuite. So, you know, you've got high security doors, you've got one-touch button to open up all the blinds from the front door, and of course individually as well. You can individually control the air conditioning and the underfloor heating from each room in the property. The kitchens are, you know, using Bosch equipment, so you've got washing machine, dishwasher, microwave, fridge, freezer, oven, extractor fan. So it's got everything. It's got everything, and you know, it's spacious enough for the kitchens. The majority of the kitchens to have not only the cabinets on the walls, but you also have a central island. You know, for more space.
I love an island.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Yeah, they sound, and they're really good quality, aren't they?
Absolutely, really good quality. And also, you know, in terms of if you're looking at an investment, but you might want to be using it yourself, you've also got, you know, a separate storage room on the ground floor, and at least 1 car parking space, designated space that's attached to the property. I mean, ownership of that space. So, you know, there's always going to be parking available for you. So if you're looking at renting it out and you've got your own personal items, you can put them in there. And in fact, also some of the apartments, the 2-bedroom not all, but some of the 2-bedroom apartments and 3-bedroom apartments also have a separate storage room in the apartment itself. So, you know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what about the communal facilities as well? Because they're really good.
Absolutely. So, you know, what is the rental market looking for? The rental market is looking for something close to a town centre, walkable to everything, but also on-site amenities. So certainly the most important thing is to have a swimming pool. So this has got a swimming pool, but also, which is really quite a rarity, you've also got a spa with an inside heated pool and jacuzzi and gymnasium and sauna. So that is really not so common here. So if you're looking at a property for an investment, you know, in the summertime, you know, high season, everything will rent. So you're going to generate good rental income, and then you've got, you know, spring and autumn, which is high season for golf. So you're going to have, you know, a lot of people coming in spring and autumn. But really, where apartments struggle to generate rental income is in the winter months, you know, in low season. But when you've got a spa attached to Adega, you're going to be able to generate more weeks in the winter time.
All year round. People love an indoor pool and a jacuzzi and a sauna.
It's what your clients ask for.
Yeah, they do. And the properties already that have that, there's a big difference in the amount of weeks they book in the winter because people love it. They can swim and they can do holiday things all year round. So it's a really, really good selling point that this development has that as well.
Yes.
And we can go in at quite a low amount of cash because mortgages are really good at the moment.
The bank finances up to 80%.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really good about this developer, so normally, you know, a developer, if you're buying something which is under construction, you know, you have to put down a deposit, and then there will be sort of 2 or 3 stage payments that you have to make between now and completion where you're paying the final balance. But that really is not going to work for people who are looking for a mortgage because, you know, you're getting the mortgage at the back end. So you're going to have to pay a deposit now and then stage payments, and then maybe the final balance is only going to be 30%. So that's not going to work. Whereas with this developer, because he doesn't borrow any money from the bank, it's also self-funded. He doesn't need you to make him payments in order for him to be able to finish the resort. So all he's asking for is effectively a 20% deposit now, no further stage payments until completion. So you can put down your 20% deposit now, and the balance, the 80% balance, could be in a mortgage if you want to go that way. So it's really, it works really well. Plus, which is a real rarity in Portugal, is he's able to provide you with a bank guarantee on your deposit.
Yeah. Really
So it's a cast iron guarantee. I was in fact looking at the fine print of that this afternoon in preparation for for this webinar. So it's a cast iron guarantee, and that really is very difficult to obtain. And only developers who've got a fantastic sterling reputation will be able to get that from the banks.
And the mortgage rate is really low as well, isn't it?
As low as 1%. So the bank finances 80% or up to 80% to the age of 80 years old, or for a maximum of 40 years with a rate of 1%.
Yeah, so that's a variable rate, and that's paired to the European Central Bank rate, which I think is probably negative at the moment, isn't it? And for our US clients, they might be scared off a variable rate because apparently in the US the variable rate oscillates quite substantially. That is not the case here at all. It's really a very constant rate that's been like that for years. So even though there's no guarantee in this, if you're getting a very low interest rate, it's very likely to continue to be that for the foreseeable future.
And so talking about completion, so nobody has to really do much, do they, Megan?
No, we do it all. So as soon as you complete your purchase, we take over in the after-sales department, and we make sure the apartment's key ready for you if you want to use it yourself, or if you don't want to use it yourself and it's purely for investment, then we go through the whole process of preparing it for rentals. And this year, for example, I'm now renting people's properties who've never even set foot inside it. And I know that sounds crazy. It was crazy for me at first, but people have been buying remotely a lot this year because of COVID, as we know. So we've gone through the whole sales process, they've obtained mortgages, I've helped them fully furnish it, and start to advertise it before they've even been here, and they're now making money to pay off their mortgage before they've been here to see their apartment. So we really do take care of everything for you if that's the route you want to go down.
And it's not been a bad year, really, has it? You've had quite a lot of people over.
It's been an interesting year, but we are pleasantly surprised with how things went. I mean, I've got a really good team behind me as well, and we've had a really successful year with rentals. We changed our marketing strategy a bit, focused on Portuguese guests as well as people from other countries who are able to travel. And I'm pleased to say that we've come through it really well, and 2021 is going to be even better. And this year has been good, so next year I'm really, really excited.
Already loads booked in?
Loads booked in already, yeah. And we're very, very busy at the moment.
Okay.
And also what I want to say is that with Adega, actually, because Adega is going to be delivered to clients in the middle of, in the summer of next year, really we're bypassing the majority of this COVID situation anyway. And then the second half of next year is when the rental campaign will really, get up to speed. So the beginning of the following year is when I see everything really being back up to sort of normal.
I think I'm going to have a very, very busy year next year as well as my team, because we've been selling lots of properties, Sasha.
Oh, absolutely. And they're all going to
and there's going to be lots to set up at the same time.
Let's talk about that, yeah. The Adega has really sold, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, there are a number of reasons for that, but I think probably, apart from obviously being a really very attractive product, is I think the pricing. And the reason for that is because this developer, it's a family-run business. They've been in business for 35, 40 years. They have built a significant amount of Lagos. They own parcels of land all over the place in Lagos that they purchase for next to nothing. So when they release onto the market a new product, a new project with their pricing, they don't pitch the prices at the top end of the market, because they don't have to do that, because they're going to be very profitable anyway, because they didn't pay such a premium for the land. So they pitch the prices at a point where they can comfortably turn over the units. Obviously, when he's releasing a new product onto the market, sales initially are relatively slow, and then they speed up, exponentially as you're getting closer to completion. So it's rare that any units of his are available by the time he completes. And also, one of the things that he doesn't do, that majority of developers do, is that when he sells a few units, when developers sell a few units, they tend to refresh the price list and put up the prices. And then so the final purchasers are paying more than the original purchasers, but he just doesn't do that. He just releases the prices onto the market. So Adega, I think he released about 12 months ago, and the prices are there. They're fixed. He's not changed them.
But then they're all sold before he completes anyway.
Well, absolutely. So he's making a good profit, and as the development is getting closer to completion, people can really equate the prices to what's going to be delivered to them. And so, I sold 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that, I think there are about 20 units left, and I'm seeing in the next couple of months the majority of those being sold.
And the good thing is, as well, is what we've experienced from his past developments, that when people do come to sell them, they're making a lot of money on them because he's kept the prices.
Well, absolutely. Well, let me give you an example. So a colleague of mine from Ideal Homes sold a 3-bedroom unit from the developer using the same materials, same sizes. It's pretty much identical. It's a smaller development, slightly different location, closer to the beach. But in terms of the product, it's what's going to happen in Adega. And he sold it to a Danish client about 6 months before completion. So 6 months, from completion. And he sold it for 450,000 euros. And I've just done a deal with a client. He's just sold it to a client of mine, so resale, at 600, and I think it's, if memory serves me rightly now, 670,000.
Wow.
And that's 4 years. That's 4 years later. So we're talking about, a pre-tax profit of 200,000 euros in 4 years.
Yeah, and he's made it on rentals.
I was just going to say that.
And he's made it on rentals.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
I
been
was
making a
looking
lot
at
of money in
figures.
rentals as well.
I was looking at the figures because the client that purchased it wanted to look at the historic data before making a decision, because she's going to be using it. She's a lawyer. She was going to work from home, from this property 6 months of the year and rent it out the other 6 months. And she wanted to understand the kind of rental income that she could generate. And I mean, it was plus 30,000 euros per year. Per year. And I mean, it's spectacular, I think, in terms of rental.
We're all wishing we'd bought one then.
Absolutely.
I know now.
Absolutely.
We're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Adega is a no-brainer. If I had spare cash, I'd be buying 2 or 3 units at Adega, because I know what's the rental income that's going to be generated there, and the capital appreciation. And the capital appreciation will actually probably outstrip quite significantly the rental income. So you're going to get really good rental income, but some of his resale properties are going for more than brand new properties.
Yeah.
It just
It doesn't seem to be not many people let them go, and that's why the resale then becomes so high.
Absolutely.
It's because people keep on to them because of the rental. So yeah, it is really a no-brainer.
What do you anticipate the capital appreciation to be on Adega?
Well, I mean, I've put some figures together here actually, but I mean, I've been quite conservative, but I'm at least 5% a year. It could be considerably more than that, but I mean, if you look at rental income and capital appreciation together over 5 years, 50%, you get a 50% return on your investment. 5 years, quite conservatively. I mean, that's
really
pre-tax. That's before income tax on the rental income and capital gains tax. But still, that's quite conservative. 50% over 5 years.
I think we all need one.
And I could see it being more than that. But who knows what the property market is going to be like? Historically, the trends have been very positive. And one of the good things about the Algarve, of course, is there remains a very attractive destination. So people are highly motivated to come to the Algarve, either on holiday or to invest in a property. And that won't change, because building regulations are very tight in Portugal. You don't have these, so many new developments coming on stream that's going to suppress the market. There just isn't enough supply to meet demand. All the conditions are right, great climate, great beaches, great food, really nice Portuguese people. So all of those conditions will remain the same. The only sort of fly in the ointment, the only thing that you can't be 100% sure about is the global economy. What will happen in the global economy? Can people afford to buy a property? There was a crash in 2008, which of course affected the market globally everywhere. But people didn't stop wanting to come to Portugal, wanting to come to the Algarve. That motivation was still there. So it bounced back really quite quickly after that.
Yeah, and once you've got it, people are still coming to rent it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. And also furniture packages, everything into it. Nobody has to worry about anything.
No, that's what I mean.
It's like
you can be as involved as you want to be. So some people like to be there every step of the way and involved in the process, and other people say to me, do everything, just make sure it looks nice and that the guests love it. So I love that, because I'm like, oh, okay, we can do everything. But yeah, we do absolutely everything for you. We make sure everything's legal and set up ready so that you can rent legally in Portugal and that you won't get in trouble with anyone. We make sure that the property's safe for guests. We make sure that you're insured, which is a minor thing, that every box is ticked, if you know what I mean, and we make sure your furniture's good and of standard. Every little thing, is done for you to make sure that it's in safe hands and you're going to get the best return that you can get with our advice.
And if people are having a mortgage, we've got Cristina, and you will help them do all the process and everything.
We do everything. So once we get the application, we send it to the bank, get the approval. We translate the documents, make sure that everything is, runs smoothly. We get you the best deal possible. We translate all the documents. Once the mortgage is approved, the bank contracts an independent evaluator to evaluate the property, which is always a plus. It's always good to know, what you're purchasing. And basically that's it, Joan. And we pre-approve. So because of the Adega is off plan and it's in the process, we pre-approve. If you know more or less what budget you're looking at, that's fine. If not, we work everything out for you, do the calculations for you, send a simulation.
Yeah.
Okay. And golden visa.
Yeah, well, absolutely, golden visa. So just going back to the mortgages and the rental side of things. Ideal Homes is a bit of an unusual case when it comes to the real estate agency. You know, most real estate agents are just selling properties, and that's the end of it, right? And if you want to get a mortgage, you have to go and do it yourself independently. If you want to rent out the property, you're going to have to go and instruct. You're going to have to find a rental agency to do that for you. If you want your furniture, you've got to somehow organise that yourself. When you buy the property, you've got to switch on the utilities. How are you going to do that? There are all sorts of different things that need to be done. And as far as I'm aware, Ideal Homes is the unique real estate agency in the Algarve, which is able to basically, under one roof, offer you everything that you need in order to buy a property. You never ever need to come to your property for any reason other than for pleasure.
Yeah.
We can just take care of everything. I think we're unique in the
Yeah.
Algarve.
And a lawyer who's an expert on golden visa.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, if you're looking for the golden visa, so I'll talk a little bit about that, but if you're looking for the golden visa, we've got a sort of a team of lawyers that we could recommend for you to represent you in the purchase, but there's one particular lawyer that's represented a few of our clients in Adega, and also is a specialist in obtaining the golden visa for people, and several clients who purchased Adega are going for the golden visa option. So, so you can all do it with one lawyer. Yeah.
And what do people need to spend to get the golden visa?
So to encapsulate it all, the standard amount that you need to spend is 500,000 euros cash. But in regions which are classified as low density zones, you get a discount, and it's 400,000 euros. And the Algarve as a whole region is classified as a low density zone. So you need to spend 400,000 euros on that. And then you have options. So on Adega, you could, for example, put down a 20% deposit, wait for completion, pay the balance, and then apply for the golden visa then. That's one option. The other option is actually put 100% of the money down now, have the property registered with the land registry office, get a bank guarantee on all of the amount, and then apply for the golden visa right now. You don't even have to wait for completion, because there is a debate happening in Parliament, in Portuguese Parliament next year, where they're going to be discussing the golden visa program, and and everything's on the table, right? So nothing may change, or they may want to remove it from some areas,
Could increase
change the thresholds. It's difficult to know. We know what the facts of the matter are right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and they may continue, they may not continue. But if you are really intent on getting the golden visa, the great thing about Adega is that you could buy the property now, get it registered with the land registry office now, put all the money down now, get a bank guarantee on your money now, and then get the golden visa now.
Excellent. So, yes, we're talking about Adega, and we're going to show you some footage on the Adega so you can have a look at it yourself and see how it's looking just right now. So this video that we're going to be seeing shortly will show you, like, very recent, the stage it's at.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoy. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video and you saw everything that we've been talking about. And we've got some questions now that people have been asking, so we're going to go through. We might have covered some of it previously, but we'll just go over it a little bit again. So, a question, the best area for rental income. I think we kind of are all biased on that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Lagos.
Lagos, yeah. So if you've got a rental property, can you also live in it in most investments? Is it able to be a resident as well as renting it?
Yeah, look, it's your house. The more you live in it, the less you earn, obviously. But if you want to stay there, for example, in the winter, and then we rent it just in the summer months where you'll make your most money, then that's, of course, your choice, and we can do that. Or you could buy two and live in one and rent out the other one all year round.
And there is no restrictions on most developments to say that you have to rent it unless you're going to a rental program.
No restrictions whatsoever. So when you buy, so all properties in Portugal are freehold properties. So they're yours in perpetuity. You can pass them on to your children, not paying inheritance tax, and then you can live in them full time. You can rent out whatever you want. There are no restrictions whatsoever.
That's a good one to touch on. No inheritance tax.
No inheritance tax in Portugal. That's correct. On the proviso that you are passing it on to your immediate descendants. You can't pass it on to your dog or something or friend. then different rules apply.
Yeah.
No inheritance
But it's a
tax.
good one. It's
Yeah.
a good one. So Sasha, coronavirus, somebody's asking, the real estate, what's the pricing like in Portugal since then? Has it changed?
No. I mean, it's been surprised. So, in February, March of this year, when COVID hit, as a sort of a real estate agent, I was not confident what was going to be happening going forward for the rest of the year. And really, it took sort of 2 or 3 months for people to sort of, rebalance how they were thinking about things. And, since June, we've sold lots of units all over the place. I mean, I think people are looking at the Algarve as a sanctuary away from the madness of COVID in other areas. So there really hasn't been any downturn in the market. In fact, on the contrary, there's been an uptick in the market.
I think that, like you say, it's like we haven't felt the impact that a lot of people have felt because it's such a calm place to be.
No, absolutely. I mean, for example, absolutely, yeah.
And how many units have left? I know.
Well, as of today, I counted them. I think it's 20 units left. 20 units left.
Yeah, knowing Sasha, it could be 19 tomorrow. How stable will lending be? Sorry, my eyes. How stable will lending be in 2021?
I see no changes.
No.
I see no changes at all with the banks and how they're viewing these things. I mean,
You're feeling nothing, Cristina? I can't see it changing.
No.
So I am a US and EU citizen. Does that change anything?
Not at all. Your taxes that you pay on purchasing a property, on the rental income, the income tax on that, the capital appreciation, the capital gains tax, none of that changes at all, regardless of whether you're Portuguese, whether European citizen, US citizen, or any other citizen.
Okay. So if I was interested but wanted to visit first, what are the risks if I'm waiting until early 2021?
Well, the risk is that there won't be anything left. That's that's the risk. And property prices are rising. So that's the risk, basically.
Okay. And someone's asking about low density for the golden visa, and like we say, it is all the Algarve practically at the moment.
Yeah,
isn't
the whole of the Algarve. So we've got a written statement from the Foreign Office Department, CEF, who've told us that currently, as it stands, the whole of the Algarve is classified as a low density zone.
Unless lots of people have lots of babies. Might change then.
Yeah.
COVID babies.
Yeah. So is it realistic to put 20 or 30% down, finance the rest, and then have short-term rental income made during the high and shoulder seasons to cover the mortgage payments? the holding costs and expenses for the entire year.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. As long as you are renting out the peak weeks in summer, and a decent amount of spring and autumn. It depends upon how much you're borrowing. It depends upon how old you are, because of course the older you are, the higher the premiums are going to be. So I can't categorically quantify that now, but it is a reasonable assumption that if you are getting a mortgage, which will be for sort of 20 or so years, that you will be able to cover all your costs, including your mortgage payments, from the rental income that you're generating.
Okay. And so on average, how many weeks are we looking for, like a two-bedroom department? How many?
Well, for Adega, I see that being high from the outset. I'm seeing 30 weeks a year from the outset.
Yeah, and it usually rises.
And it usually rises, but sometimes if you're buying in a development, for example, that doesn't have a spa, you might start at 20 weeks a year, and then it'll rise over 5 years to 30 weeks a year. But, I think with Adega, it's going to kick in very quickly. So you're going to be at I wouldn't say the maximum, but close to the maximum. So it might be 30 weeks, in year one, and then maybe 36, 37 weeks in year 5. So it'll be a slight rise, but that's only because you're already starting from a very high point to begin with.
Good thing about Lagos is we get a lot of, like Scandinavians, they do like Lagos, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm thinking it'll be more than that, because it's an all-year investment, this one. There's facilities for all year round.
Absolutely. I mean, I like to be conservative. I don't want to I don't want to disappoint people. So I'd rather them be pleasantly surprised. I always like to be a little bit conservative.
With the winter, we tend to get longer stays. So we get mainly retirees come in from further afield, and they like the Algarve climate and the beaches, and they'll spend like 2 to 3 months here in the winter. So this development is perfect because it will have all of those indoor facilities, so they will still feel like they're on holiday. So we get that anyway in Lagos. It's the best place for it. But this development, we're going to attract that even more.
Yeah. And what should people allow over the budget, to cover costs and taxes? Obviously, there's purchasing prices.
Yes, so depending upon exactly what the price is, but you should assume roughly 8% for closing costs on the purchase price. So what's that? You've got property transfer tax, which is based on as a percentage of the purchase price. You've got stamp duty, which is based on the percentage of the purchase price. You've got your lawyer's fees. Then you've got registration fees with the land registry office when you've purchased it, and then the completion is done in front of a notary. So all of that together is between 7 and 8%.
Okay. And that's basically the main thing. It's like you will have some things like furniture and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of costs after that.
No. I mean, the way to look at it is that Portugal is a relatively poor country when you look at it on a national level, and the average salary in Portugal is something like €1,000 a month. So how can things be so expensive? Property tax, for example, your annual property tax in Adega for a 2-bedroom property is probably going to be €600 to €800 a year. You've got your condominium fees. The condominium fees, for looking after the common areas. That's for a 2-bedroom is likely to be €1,000 plus or minus a year. For a 3-bedroom, €1,200 a year. So, your running costs are going to be sort of Portuguese costs, but you're actually attracting Northern Europeans, and you're charging them Northern European prices. Yeah.
Excellent. Is there anything that someone could put into their property, saying to improve the rentals? I don't think there really is in this one, is there?
The best things are good furnishings, high-spec equipment, which these apartments come with, so like the really good appliances, the underfloor heating and the aircon, the TVs, things like that is what guests love. Wi-Fi goes without saying these days. All of those high-tech things, plus the comfort of nice furniture, the location is what's most important to guests, and the facilities on site, which this ticks every single box. So they're the things that people look for the most.
Yeah, I mean, the furniture needs to match the type of property it is, and it has to have the right color scheme, sort of neutral colors with a few splashes of color and so on, because people are going to be gravitating towards when they're renting out your specific property, they're going to look at it online and look at the photographs and so on, and that's going to be what's going to be attracting them initially before they then read all the information about the property and the bullet points of everything that's included and so on. So having the right furniture with the right sort of colours and so on, and having that photographed well is really, really key.
Yeah, that's why we advise on that, because it's really, really important. So we put you in touch with some really good designers who can give you advice and show you options and talk through what you're looking for in your property, but also they know from me what rents well, and then they can guide you along the way with my help as well.
And they're experts. I mean, these interior
Yeah.
design furniture companies are experts in providing rental packages, you know, and they will come and they would do the measuring up, wouldn't they, and so on, and then put a proposal together and so on, and then you'd approve the proposal, and then they would go and make the furniture. I mean,
The good thing to note about furniture as well is that you can pay in two parts. So as well, it's another thing that you don't have to pay all up front. So you pay a deposit for them to order the furniture, and then you pay the rest just before they deliver. So that's really good.
And what kind of price are we looking for a full package? I mean, these include like down to the tea towel and the dishcloth, don't they?
Down to like all the linen, everything like that, about 15 to 20,000 on a 2-bed apartment. And this is really high spec furniture.
And we get a lot of returning clients, and that's due to the quality of how these are furnished, not only the quality of the property intake.
The quality and our service, of course.
Yeah. And it's always good to get returning clients, because obviously if you get returning clients, you've got less weeks to actually work on covering each year, so it makes it a lot simpler.
And also, you know, as you progress year by year with your you know, with your rental property, you're going to be generating more and more profit, because obviously you're going to have more guests. But also, one of the costs that you're going to be having to pay for is effectively the online advertising. You know, Airbnb and whatever it might be. And some of those are flat fees, some of those are commissions and so on.
It's changed.
Oh, it's changed, has it?
They're all on a commission basis, and we can increase your price if necessary to cover those costs. So
Right, but we
down
have
to
our
the
own
individual.
rental website, right? So
Yeah.
when you're meeting the guests in year one, you're going to be asking them to go to our own website to book up for the following years. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't tell anyone, but we always try and get them to book directly with us wherever possible, because you save money, and it's a nicer experience for the guests. But yeah, whenever they return, they call us up, send us a WhatsApp, or go onto our website and book.
But also that means that you're going to be paying less commission to the other, because they're all going to be coming to our own website, where we're not charging you know, owners anything for.
Yeah.
And people are asking, like, what kind of tax do you pay on rental income for a foreigner?
So if you go on what's called the simplified tax regime, which is highly recommended, then what they do is they look at what your revenue is, in other words, what you've invoiced your clients, and they're going to make an automatic assumption that 35% of that is profit. You don't have to hold any receipts, they're just going to make that assumption, and then they're going to charge you 25% income tax on that. Now that translates to 8.75% of your gross revenue. But currently as it stands, I mean, I'll have to just double check this, but currently as it stands, there is a special promotional rate in year one. So instead of it being 8.75%, it's 50% of that. And then year two, it's 75% of that. It's only in year three that it kicks in to 8.75%. So, you know, the income tax is really not that high.
It's a really good incentive for people, and it's a lot better incentive than the long-term rental tax is. And also something to note is all of your expenses, once you start paying tax, all of your expenses you pay on the property, so your condominium fees, your cleaning fees, our fees, everything like that is tax deductible as well. So they take that into consideration. Everything that goes through on your tax number is worked against your tax as well, so you pay less. It's really good.
Okay. We've got some other questions that I think we've covered most of it, but if you have got any further questions and you want to talk to us like one-on-one, we've got Sasha, Megan, Cristina, me, you can contact us and talk about anything. So if, obviously we do sell all the way across the Algarve. We sell villas, apartments, townhouses, absolutely anything, plots of land. We can help you with absolutely every part of the process from start to finish. We're a great, friendly, happy bunch, and we love to talk to you. So please do contact us, and hopefully you'll be having an Adega property and you'll be earning lots of money very soon.
And I want to say that, in fact, you know, the vast majority, in fact, all of my Adega clients, and I don't know how many it is now that I've sold this year, but it's 8 or 10. All of them have purchased remotely, without ever stepping foot in Portugal. They might have been to Portugal before, maybe some of them haven't, but none of them actually visited Adega. So, you know, we try to provide you with all the information, and including visual information, videos and so on, in order for you to feel very comfortable being able to purchase without coming here, because, you know, there's no, you know, Adega will be gone in a couple of months' time, so it's just, there just isn't going to be that opportunity.
And you actually go to Adega, don't you? And you will FaceTime and
Oh, absolutely.
Or take videos
So
or
you know,
whatever.
the way I would do it is that I would set up a Zoom call with you if you're interested, and then talk you through you know, Adega and in detail and so on, and then we can zero in on a particular unit, and then, you know, I can go over to that unit because all the structure's up, and I could film that unit, so you get a really good feel for what Adega is like.
And that's the thing with something like this. It's about the numbers adding up and being able to see it through you.
Absolutely.
No need to really actually go to the expense of flying over and all that, using the time.
Absolutely.
We can do it very easily.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just 1 second.
Oh.
I just wanted to say thank you to the team. You've done a brilliant job. So thank you very much, everyone. I've just got back from Lagos. I've just been down in Adega with some clients, actually. So I was a little bit late, so I was meant to join you, so I do apologise. And thank you to everyone who joined. Some really good comments from your clients saying, I'm jumping up and down. I saw my unit on the video and I can't wait to be there. And that was from somebody in Seattle. So thank you very much. Any questions you've got, I've put my mobile number on there as well, and everyone's email addresses. And thank you to the team behind the scenes. I mean, you see what's going on here, but behind the scenes there's some fantastic things going on. So let us know if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.